Right, we're going for a little trip around my 920 lathe. As most of you know, these are made in China, but I had a few problems with the 920, so this is just to show you what I did do. Behind this wheel here there was a clutch effort. I took that out and that's gone, and I've not had any problems since I've changed it. It's just a bearing in there. And then I moved across here, and these don't come with a forward and reverse on the lead screw, so it only goes one way. So this extra gear here, that extra gear there, is to give me reverse on the lead screw. So I can do a left hand and a right hand thread on the lead screw. So there we are. That's what that's all about. But what I've done since then is, as you can see, it is, if I can get it clear enough, the wheels are disengaged, so you can see that's the drive for the lead screw, and that's disengaged because I've gone electric. So this is a Chester UK lathe 920, and I've put on an electric lead screw. There's the finish on the cut. Looks, if I just go in a bit closer, there we are. Gives a nice finish. That's lovely. So there we are, and there is what I've put on. One windscreen wiper motor. You can just about see it here. It comes across, comes into there, onto the end of the lead screw, and that's how I'm driving it through there. So there we are. So that will go forward reverse because it's a DC motor, so it's not a problem. It drives it at the right speed, so for what I want to do, it's perfect. That's the little mod I've done. The other modification was to this blooming horrible hold down plate. I had to replace that. So this is the hold down plate for the tool post, and I had to take that off and completely replace it and machine that one up. And so what I did is I had to put a little slot in the end to see the numbers. So that was that bit. Then I made a tool post, take it off, and what happens is I made this tool post so that I've only put one slot here, but what I do is I've made it so flip it over and then you can go in the other way. So then the tool will obviously go, where are we? There it is. So tool drops in there like so, and there you can go boring. So that was the other mods. I made all the tool holders, and I made the tool posts. So took a bit of time, but not too much of a problem. So that goes there. I also made most of my tools. So the diamond tool holder, I made that. I also made one that holds a round bar. So there we are. This is the one for the round, which I've made. So yeah, you can make most of your tools. It's not too much of a problem. I made all these tool holders up here, all homemade. So they all fit on the 920 lathe. You can never have enough tool holders. Then I made the light for the lathe, which is an LED, so you can bring it backwards and forwards nicely, and it can obviously go sideways, and it goes up and down. It does all anywhere you want it to go. That was the other things that I've made for the lathe. What else did I do? Oh, one of the things that I had to replace was the worm drive in here on the lead screw. They supplied originally, when I bought the lathe, it had a brass one in there. So I took the brass one out and I had to have a steel one. So that's what's in there. The other mod I did was over here. So you can lock the carriageway. So you don't have to muck about with that blooming Allen key. So you can lock it with a carriage screw. And what I did is to make it right, in the top of there, I put a little grub screw so it's always in the right place. That's what I did. There we are. Come out. There we are. See if I can get it in there. Show you. Right, so in the top of there, look, see there's a little grub screw so that it's perfect adjustment. So it always goes in the right spot. There we are. And the reason for that little bit machined out was that they used to get in the way. So there we are. Oh, the other problem I did have with this particular problem was the tailstock. When it used to snatch on the top, it didn't lock off properly. So I've had to alter that. So that was completely altered. Blooming bit poor, but there we are. So that was the other mod. I put a bolt in there so that you don't run into anything else. So that stops you running into that gear. So you can see where I've put in the tailstock, the bolt I put in there. That's to give the distance stop. I also put a power stop on here. Right, so what happens is this micro switch is connected to the stop in the machine. So as the carriage comes along, so if you go along with the carriage and you hit that, that cuts the chuck. Right, so we just flip it on. So you go, carriage is going, chuck's going, and if you watch, sure. So you can't drive it into the chuck, it just switches off. Just move that along where you want it to give you your stop distance, so like so, and then she'll come along and donk, so she stops. That's what that's all about. That's about the trip around the 920 lathe. Got any questions? Give us a shout. We will sort it out. I did make a set. I made a set of soft jaws. So there we are. Homemade set of soft jaws. Believe me, they take a lot of time to make, but they're worth it in the end. There's one there, and there's another one there. So there's the set of 3, which I made. Quite difficult to get the curves right, but not a problem. And that was all done on a rotary table. So there we are. You can do these little jobs at home if you want to, but they do take a time. So that was that little job I made. This is the setup for forward and reverse. So put it up, forward, in the middle, neutral, down at the bottom, reverse. That's what that's all about for the lead screw. So that was the bits I've done, and the reason I've made it electric is so I don't have the rattly gears running all the time, because I made the gear wheels as well. See, this particular gear wheel here, I made this, but machined this one up, and they do rattle a little bit, but you can hear it, it's rattling. So stop all that noise and rubbish going on, I've made an electric lead screw. That's about it really for the 920 lathe. I can't think of anything else I made except for the little box that went on the top there to keep all my tool holders in, and to keep the keys and stuff, so I can just quickly pick them up, and all the other bits and pieces, so you can see what I did. Really simple. So nice and easy. This is Dave signing off about the 920 lathe. Got any queries, give us a shout and we'll see if we can help you out. Don't forget, thumbs up and subscribe, and we will... Oh, that was the other thing before I forget. This tool holder that I made. Right, take that one off. Right, now, parting off tools. And that's the parting off tool. Now you'll notice that I'm using the parting off tool upside down. And on a small lathe, if you use it the wrong way round, which is going in from this way, but put the machine in reverse, then that will cut and it doesn't jam. So you can cut a perfect cut every time. That was a tool holder I made. And yeah, it's had a lot of use, that. So that's what I've done. So you need to do it that way round. So you put the machine in reverse and you will find that you'll be able to part off, no problem at all, with a little 920 lathe. This is Dave signing off. Don't forget the bits at the bottom. We'll try again. Thumbs up. Don't forget, subscribe. We'll catch you all on the flip side. Byesy byes.